I've been to Primark and I've picked up some items to show you a face of just Primark makeup. So I do have some eye redness going on today. I think after doing a few makeup videos recently, it's taken its toll on my eyes. They're quite red and a little bit sore. So I'm going to start with the Illuminating Under Eye Concealer, which is in shade Nugget. So I'm assuming this is just one that you press to activate. Let me pump it until it's ready and then I'll be back. So it actually turns like this. Okay, let's get some of this on. So I went for the shade Nugget because I don't like my concealer to be too dark. I do like a bright eye. This is illuminating, so we will see how this goes. I'm gonna pat it in with my usual brush and we'll see how. Okay, so opinion on that one so far, it's not as thick as the normal concealers I use, and I did have to reapply some more to give any kind of coverage. So I wouldn't say it's a heavy coverage concealer, but it's looking okay so far. Okay, next I've got the Illuminating Foundation with Wild Pansy and Rose Extract, SPF 20, and I've got it in the shade Beige. So we'll see how this looks on my skin. Actually, ignore me. Before I go in with that, I'm going to try the Vitamin Enriched Moisturising Primer under this foundation. So I use this anyway. It's a really good dupe for the Bobbi Brown primer. So I'm going to apply this. I'm going to let it sit on my skin before I put the foundation on. While I'm waiting for that to sit in, I'm just going to apply a bit of this vitamin lip oil. It's so nice. It's got vitamin E, jojoba oil and hydrochloric acid, vanilla scented. This is the third one of these that I've purchased from Primark. It is so nice. Okay, let's get on to the foundation. So I brought the little foundation brush from Primark as well. I like these kind of brushes. I'm going to see how it compares to the one that I normally use. So this beige, I feel like it might be a bit dark for my skin. It's really hard to tell the shades when you're in the shop. Actually, it's not so bad. I think it might work. I do feel like this is going to be a foundation where I need a little bit more on my brush than I would put in with my normal foundation, because my normal foundation I would use a squirt of around that size and that would be enough to do my face. So it feels nice. It doesn't have a scent at all. It's blending on well. It looks like it's going to be a light coverage. Let me blend it all in and I'll be back. Okay, so I've pressed this all over my skin. Honestly, for the price, £6, I'm impressed. It's not a full coverage. It's quite a nice natural coverage. I'm just going to give it a dab over with my sponge because I generally like to finish pressing the foundation in with a sponge rather than just stippling with the brush. For me, I just feel like it gives a better finish around my pores. They didn't have any setting powder or anything in my Primark today. The Primark local to me isn't as big as some of the other Primarks. So, but I did pick up a powder bronzer. They didn't have any liquid bronzer either. And I've got a liquid blush, which I'm going to try now. So this powder bronzer was £1. It's a matte bronzing powder in the shade Fearless. Again, there was only one shade option, so we'll see how this. Okay, let's try. I normally would obviously apply a cream bronzer first, and then I would go over with a bronzer. But okay, this £1 bronzer, powder bronzer, with no cream underneath, is giving some colour. Like, it's £1. Yeah, I would definitely recommend that for anybody who's looking for makeup that's going to give good effect with not a big budget. Honestly, for £1, it's blending quite well. The fact it's going straight over foundation, I'm not applying any cream first. I haven't set this with powder like I normally would in my face routine. I would definitely say that's really good for £1. You know, normally I would be applying cream bronzer, cream blush. I'd be setting it with a powder before I put this on. The fact this has just gone on straight over a foundation and it's given this kind of colour is definitely good. That's definitely good value for money. Okay, let's try the cream. So this is the liquid blush in shade. Let me just try and see. Doesn't seem to tell me the shade. Peach. Shade Peach. So I'm gonna, I don't know how pigmented this is, so I'm gonna apply it to the back of my hand. And then I'm gonna dab my brush in and then apply it and see, because I don't want to apply it straight to the face in case it's so pigmented that it overkills. Okay, so it's not heavily pigmented. It is giving a nice gentle blush. But you know, if you're going to want a heavier blush, then I would definitely say you'd need to apply a bit more, maybe a second coat. But it's given a nice colour, considering that was, I think, £2.50. I think it was £2.50. Sorry, I took the label off before I used it. Yeah, I would say that's given it an okay shade. I definitely need a new camera. I always feel like this camera isn't as clear. When I'm looking in the mirror, what I'm seeing on my camera isn't as clear. But for £1 bronzer and a £2.50 blusher, I would say that's looking good. Again, if you're someone that's looking to buy these products on a budget, I would say you could work with that. Like I said, there was no setting powder in my Primark, so I can't apply that. But I'm just going to show you the products I have got, and then you can always go in with your own setting powder. And obviously if you wanted to step that up with some powder blush over the top, but I want to keep this just the Primark items that I've brought. Next I've got the Wonderlash Length Definition Lift Mascara. So let's see how that goes. So the brush is a very small brush. It's quite a wet mixture. I feel like if you're not careful, this could get cloggy. I mean, it's not giving me the best lift. It's okay. I wouldn't be changing my normal mascara to use this. My normal go-to mascara is the Maybelline Colossal Big Shot. It's got a bigger brush and it's probably not quite as sticky. I feel like my lashes are almost sticking to this brush when I'm applying. I mean, it's giving some lift, but they are clumpy. It was £3.50. Would I buy it again? No. Will I use it again? No, probably not. It's sticking my lashes together. Keeping it honest with the reviews here. Next I've got the lip liner, lip pencil in Foxy Nude. Just dab over with. I like to give my lips a bit of a base rather than a gloss base. It's a very subtle colour. It feels soft and creamy. It's nice to apply it. I'll do the lip. So it's applied well. It's soft and creamy. It's almost seeping on my lip line as soon as I apply it. So again, I don't know if I'd use it over my normal ones, but again, for I think it was like 90p or £1 or something, it's perfect. This matte lipstick was £1.50 and I've got it in the shade, one second. Okay, so the shade of this is Velvet Touch. This was £1.50. So I like the shade. It's quite firm. It's not a soft and buttery lipstick, however, I do like the shade. But that is quite firm when I'm applying it on my lip. But overall, I would definitely recommend this makeup. The primer, I always enjoy this primer, £4.50. £6 for an illuminating foundation, which I think has given a nice medium coverage. Absolutely recommend this bronzer for £1. It was really, really pigmented for £1. The liquid blusher was, I think, £3. Again, that's given a nice colour. I wouldn't personally recommend this mascara. The liner was okay. Lipstick, not really. The colour's nice. I don't like the texture. The concealer, yes, £3.50. I would say that's okay. It wasn't heavy coverage, but it was good. And always this lip oil I'll recommend. It's brilliant. So yeah, Primark makeup, not too bad for the price. I would definitely recommend a few pieces.